Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 7:15 on Saturday the 5th of November. Just making my way down to the land. As always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, we're finally starting to get some daylight. The fire's not too bad this morning, to be fair. It is a bit hit and miss lately with this very closed in foggy weather we've been having, but thankfully today we've got a decent little blaze going, so that's good. The only disappointing bit, if you can hear it, I don't know if you can, raining again, and it's forecast to be in all week, so I'll just keep an eye on this fire for the next couple of minutes, make sure it's taken properly, but it looks like it is, and we'll get the coffee on. Well, we've finally got daylight and I'm just taking the chance to get this cup of coffee because I don't know when I'm going to get my next one. It is a cold day, and this rain, it is forecast for the entire weekend actually, so I'm trying to work around that and do as much as I can inside rather than outside. If you can see the breath steaming away, even though the fire is on, it does take a while to warm through nowadays because of the crappy weather we're getting. Anyway, I just wanted to take the chance to say hi to everyone. Hope you're all doing well and coping with the craziness that we're all going through right now. Plans for today, with a little bit of luck, I'm going to get a delivery. Quite a lot of stuff actually. I'm trying to get some wood because I want to put a second skin on the floor in the cabin. If you've been watching videos all the way through this year, you'll know that I originally laid some OSB, oriented strand board, on the floor when the cabin extension went up, and talk about the weather. The weather at that time was pretty much as it is now. It was just constant rain, and the floor was exposed to quite a bit of rain for probably the best part of 2 weeks. It did dry out. I had painted it, so that did give it some protection, but as I've gone through the year and I've been in and out, I have noticed that some of the boards are beginning to sag and move underfoot. The plan was always to get a second skin on with some weatherproof plywood sheeting, but with all of this COVID crisis, materials have been hard to find, and time also has been hard to find with all of the other things I've been trying to get done with the cabin extension and then subsequently the garden room as well. But fingers crossed, today we might get some sheeting. I've also got a load of sand, gravel and slabs coming so that I can lay some slabs in the garden room and also around the outside of the cabin, particularly where the entrance is here for the cabin door, just to give us a bit more of a stable foundation. And in the garden room I can then build from that and create the raised beds that I want in the garden room. Other little niggly things, I've got a problem with a tap on the little kitchen sink there. For some reason the hot tap has decided to stop working. I suspect that there's a problem with the spindle inside the tap itself. But of course it's a mixer tap. The hot and cold feed into the same tap unit. So I'm going to have to swap that out. I have actually got one. It's one off an old caravan, I think, to swap over, but it's a difficult working environment within that kitchen unit. Now that everything's been in for a while and I've boarded round and put shelves and such like in, I do need a bit of help with that. So fingers crossed again, I'll get some help with that. Other bits and pieces, the diesel heater, I ordered some pipe work. The actual larger 65mm air ducting pipe has arrived. The exhaust pipes, which are smaller, and the air intake pipes, I think they're 25mm, they have not turned up yet. So I can't do everything on the diesel heater, but what I can do is lay the hot air duct pipe. Lots and lots of things, as there always is. One thing leads into another. So it might be a bit of a crazy day in terms of getting video clips. I'll get what I can taken as I go along, so you can see the progress. But really, I just wanted to give you a heads up, an idea of what I'm doing, and the fact that there might not be continuation of video as we go through. What with the length of daylight hours we've got now as we go through winter, coupled with the weather, I think the focus really is on getting stuff done as quickly as I can, and I might not be able to, indeed I probably just don't remember to take little video clips showing the progress, but I'll try and do as much as I can anyway. So we'll get this coffee finished off, and hopefully before much longer we'll have some materials arriving, and then I can get cracking with some work rather than just sitting here talking. I'll keep you posted anyway as we go along. Well, we're having a bit of material collection day today. Got some plywood sheet coming in. Going to skin over the original floor, because that's just OSB, oriented strand board, same as this on the wall, which is starting to sag a little bit. So skin over that with some ply. Then outside, got 32 paving slabs, and still to come in the distance is a load of sand and gravel to go with these slabs. So a bit of a, it's like being at the gym. Bit of exercise today. That board's quite nice actually, that plywood. So yeah, not helping the rib, I have to say, but it's got to be done, so at least I've got a bit of help. My where's he gone? He's disappeared. Oh, there he is. Trudging across the wet field. Bless him. So yeah, get cracking, get this sand and cement in, sorry, sand and gravel in, and then hopefully have a coffee. Well, slowly but surely, getting this heaved across the field. It might not look very far, but when you're humping this across, it is. I think one more barrow load should just about do it. The old man's worn out, so the young one's taking over for the last barrow load. Well, there we go, sand, gravel, slabs. It looks like a lot, but it's amazing how quickly you get through it. But first things first now, get a coffee on the go. I might pull a little red tractor out shortly just to give it a run, we'll see. And little owl is still there, keeping an eye out, as always. Well, it's looking like a bit of a disaster area now. I've had to take a couple of doors off because there'll not be enough clearance. Same with the original cabin doors, they've got to come off as well. And then we'll get some of this sheeting on this floor. Well, first things first, let's get a coffee down before we do anything else. the actual laying of the floor and screwing it down is not the hard bit. The hard bit is trying to figure out the patchwork of where to cut the boards to save the most amount of wood. But we're just pondering that now over a cup of coffee. Slowly but surely getting there. It's a million times better. You can already feel when you walk on the new boards there's no give, whereas before it was sinking with that OSB boarding. So yeah, a bit more to do, but the time's in the measuring and the cutting, not the laying. Well, it's coming along nicely. Now for the fiddly bit, round by this fire. So that's the flooring from the garden room all the way through to the original cabin. A little bit of sewing still required because those cabinet doors for the kitchen area need trimming to size, about 10mm off the ends. Same with the doors into the original cabin, they'll want another 10mm slither taken off. So we can maybe do that while I'm boiling the kettle. That's the cabinet doors trimmed to size and back in place. So one more job, get the big cabin doors trimmed to size, but I think we'll have coffee first. And there we are, we're back to back to where we started. That's those doors trimmed off as well, and they're back installed again. So looking a lot lighter in here with this this plywood on the floor. That is weatherproof though, unlike the OSB boards, so I shouldn't have any issues. You never know, I might end up one day with some lino or something down on the floor, who knows. But yeah, excellent job done, and we definitely do need that coffee now. A little bit of fun and games here. We've got the plumber under the sink swearing away. Just change out this tap. The hot tap was buggered basically, so the whole thing's got to come out. Which, as I'm sure somebody can tell you, is not as easy as you think, is it? No. Well, the taps are off, which is good. It is a bit of a small work environment under here though, it has to be said. And nothing's ever straightforward, is it? That's the new tap just going in. And I don't imagine for a second it's going to be straightforward piping up, but we've got help, so we're alright today. Don't know if you can hear that or not, but it is just chucking it down. Thankfully I'm not outside in this. Well, despite the best efforts of the weather, I don't know if you can hear that, it's just not stopping at all today. But a little bit more progress, got a hole all the way through. Wasn't quite realising that there was some significant, it's these joists on the bottom of the door here, where it's framed in. So it's been a bit more difficult than it needed to be because I've had to cut through that as well. But as you can see, that's the outside, that's the inside. So I've got a nice little hole which runs all the way through, pops out this other side, and the idea is that the duct from the diesel heater will run through there. So we've got our pipe. Just feed this through into the garden room, and then this is a fan cowling or a duct cowling, So the tubing just goes into the end of that. Like so. This then screws into the wall to fix in place, and then this cowling, it's adjustable, you can move it around to where you want the heat to go, so that just fits onto there. So I'll get this screwed in, get this cowl on, and then I can take a look at the outside in the garden room and see where that's going to go. Well, that's the cowling screwed into place, and this is adjustable. You can twist this to direct the heat whichever way you want it to go. Goes all the way through 360 degrees, which is very nice. And then outside in the garden room, the pipework or the ducting comes out. I just need to run this across now, somewhere across this cabin wall, and then I'll relocate the actual heater itself and box it in somewhere down here, I don't know yet. This rain's just not giving up at all. It's making life a little bit difficult. I had hoped to get some slabs down in here, but I'm now running out of time. Not had much daylight all day, actually. Let's have a little look out. You can see how it is. It's just a really cold, wet, miserable day. Rain's not giving up at all, and it's certainly slowing progress down. Just rerouted that cable from the other day to put a light in the garden room. I don't know if you can hear it, but the rain is still coming down on the roof. Just got a little switch down by the door here, so as you first come in, you can just pop a light on. So it's a little bit more progress, despite the weather, which is shocking. Well, there's a bit of a game going on. Trying to do this on my own is always a little bit difficult, but essentially I'm trying to figure out where the slabs are going to go and to make sure that I've got the right level. I don't know if you'll be able to see or not on this video, but by the door here you can see there's quite a substantial gap where the floor, I mean, it is just a field underneath this weed membrane. The floor is not level. Versus this end, the height raises quite considerably. So I've got to try and get that level. Wish me luck. I'm sure we'll get there. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world on an unopened sloping field full of lumps and bumps. But I'll keep you posted as I go along. I just grabbed the spirit level out of curiosity to see. And to be fair, I don't know if you'll see it or not. Is it going to focus? Come on, focus. It just doesn't want to, does it? There we go. It's absolutely spot on. I am pretty stunned. This camera, I don't know what's up with it. Come on, focus. There we go. Anyway, you get the gist. If I follow that along now and put my sand and gravel in, I'll start at this end by the door because that's the biggest end, and I'll just work along, and I'll use that big chunk of wood as a guide. Well, we're away. I'm just using that piece of plywood to flatten it down. If I put that on top of the sand and stand on it, when I take it off, in theory, you'll be able to see if it's level or not, and if there's any little dints or bumps that need leveling out. Well, that's a theory anyway. I'm going to get through quite a few bags of sand at this rate, I think. Well, this is heavy and slow going, but I've got the first 4 in. Let's just grab this level and pray a little. And come on, focus. Oh, it's not going to focus. Come on. There we go. You've no idea how pleased I am to see that. Oh, what is up with this camera today? It just doesn't want to focus. There we go. So that's the first 4 in. Only another, I don't know, 4, another 8 maybe. We'll see. Well, that's 6 in. And probably another 6, maybe slightly more. I don't know, we'll see. I'll definitely get 6 more in, but I might have a little bit of a gap at the end where that gravel line is. But we'll see. It is, as things always are, more difficult and time consuming than you think, because you'll know from a previous video when I put that wooden edging round, I've got some foundation blocks that crop out a little bit all the way along here, so you get one in and find you have to move the next one. But anyway, they're going in, which is what counts. Well, all of these slabs are down. As I expected, there is a little bit of a gap at the end, and I'm not going to cut slabs up. I don't have an angle grinder to do that anyway. And for the sake of that space, it is packed down with sand and I'll gravel over the top, and it should look fine. I'm just busy now filling in the gaps between the slabs and the base of the shed. You can see there where I'm up to. So I'm just spending a bit of time just packing sand into the gaps just to make sure they are stable. And then once this dries off, I'll be able to give it a sweep and fill in the gaps more as they settle. So slow progress, but really pleased that I've got these down. It's going to make a massive difference in here. And once I'm finished, I definitely deserve a cup of coffee. You know when you think, oh, that's a good idea. I'll just saw that huge chunk of wood, and then you start sawing it and you think, didn't expect it to be this difficult. It's one of those days today. Well, that was a bit of a chew, but it's cut. Can you guess where it is yet? Well, that's that big batten. It's almost a railway sleeper. I've just staked it down with those 1.5 metre stakes. You've seen me use those loads of times in this construction. In fact, there's one over there, look, in the corner. There's another one buried by the window behind all that rubbish. So that's in. It just helped me to keep the slabs in place. I'll pack down with sand in the little gap, and then I just need to cut another small section just to finish that line off, and I'll again overlap that onto the foundation blocks. Whew. It is strenuous exercise, and I'm starting to feel it a little bit on that ribber damage the other week. But I've got to keep cracking on, get this last piece of wood cut. I'll just get measured up for it. And then that'll be the paving done. I'm not sure whether I'll get a chance to box that diesel heater in or not. The time is passing so quickly and we're almost at the end of the day. But we'll see how we get on. As long as I can finish the slabs, I'll be happy. I've got this last piece of wood in, and I've just drilled the holes for the stakes, but sod's law, my drill, my battery's gone, so I've not managed to make the holes quite as big as I would do, but a bit of brute force and they'll go through. You'll see in a second anyway. Whew. Well, that's a good job done. I just need to fill in down the edge with some sand now, and that's that little bit complete. Bargain. Well, you can see where I've been trailing around outside the cabin. This rain we've had lately, well, for months now, everything is just so wet underfoot, and you can't help it. I have to move around to move materials, and it's just churning the grass up. But the good news is, ta-da! We've got all of the slabs in. And I've got these, they're not really sleepers, they're kind of like railway sleepers, but just slightly shorter. Not shorter, slightly narrower. Just to make sure that the slabs don't move anywhere, a bit of a border for them. And then at the end where I've not enough space there to cut out slabs, it's just not worth the aggravation. I've just infilled with some sand and gravel. So all of this now is ready for the diesel heater to get boxed in. The day's nearly done, so I'm not going to get that done today for sure. I might have a little measure up and a bit of experimentation with a bit of wood, but I'm going to sit down and have a cup of coffee because I am worn out now. Well, that's another day just about done. I'm grateful for the help from my lad Sean, particularly moving all of that materials across and helping with the floor. One pair of hands just isn't enough. But some real good progress today. Floor's down, taps are changed, a little bit of electric wiring in the garden room, and the big job of the day, getting those slabs down. I am feeling that now though. They're a lot heavier than you think, and when you put them down, as much as you try and level the sand base down, it never is. You always end up having to take some of the slabs up and just adjust the sand base. But it's looking really good. I'm really pleased with that. It's nice to have something in the entrance there where you can come in from outside. You've got something dry and solid underneath, and it gives me, my nose is running, it gives me something to work off now to figure out where the raised beds are going to go. So yeah, real nice job. We'll see how we get on tomorrow. I might be able to get the boxing in done for the diesel heater tomorrow. I've got a little bit more electrical work in the garden room to do. I want to run some 12 volt power out. It's one of these power outlets that's got a combination. It's got a cigarette lighter adapter, and it's got a couple of USB charger ports on there as well. It just means that I can plug stuff in the garden room, whether that's recharging CCTV cameras or phones or whatever, and also it'll be a power outlet for when the watering system eventually goes in on those raised beds. So as always, millions of things. If I had a day that was the length of a week, I'd be all right. But unfortunately, it isn't. And the time just does go by so quick. Apologies for this, but it is cold out there. And my nose is running a bit. Anyway, we're about done for the day. A lot of tidying up to be done as I look around. You know what it's like, you get tools out and you'll use something, put it down, move on, need another tool, get that, put it down. And before you know where you are, your tool bag's empty and the area you're working in is full of tools, offcuts of wood. It is nice though. I know I complain about being cold and wet sometimes, but even though I am, and sometimes a little bit in pain with this bloody rib lately, there is an awful lot of pleasure involved, especially when you stand back and look at what you've achieved. So yeah, never be scared to have a go at stuff, even if you're not sure, apart from gas and electrics. Have a go. You'd be surprised what you can achieve if you set your mind to it and just keep buggering on. Anyway, hopefully everyone's all right and coping with this COVID madness we've got going on. I'm just debating. I'll make it up tomorrow, I guess, but I was thinking of doing a cabin chat or a live stream on predictions for 2021. We've got that much going on lately. It's easy to lose sight, and you're that busy caught up in the dealing with the panic now that it's quite easy to forget to think ahead a little bit and to prepare. So remind me in the comments section on this video, either a cabin chat or a lessons learned video on predictions for 2021. I suspect that there's going to be an awful lot going on in 2021 and we do need to be ready for it. Anyway, coffee's almost done. I made it, as always, and then decided to just do one more thing in the garden room, and it's fatal. That one more thing turns into enough time for your coffee to go cold. but I've got it and it's going down. So I'll get tidied up and get everything put away and locked up, and then we'll go home and set about editing this video. I don't know how many of you actually do put out videos. I hope your internet's better than mine. Mine's been absolutely shocking lately. It's taking 2 or 3 hours to upload a 30-40 minute video. It really is crazy. And I've spent more than a few hours this past week on the phone to the service provider. They're actually not a service provider, they're providing a piss poor service. Having a bit of a rant. But unfortunately, the area that I live in doesn't have a fibre connection. So we're on old school ASDL lines. But still, this day and age, there is no excuse. I've lived and worked in some of the poorest, underdeveloped and unstable countries in the world, and they've always provided a decent internet and a decent telephone service. Even in the middle of nowhere, you can be halfway up a mountain and you'll still get your phone signal. Here, if I drive to my son's house, it's about 9-10 miles away, I'll lose signal at least 3 or 4 times, and depending on what network you have, I think there's only one network, which fortunately I am on that network, that actually works where he lives. It's crazy. To say we're talking about 5G here in the UK being rolled out, government, get a grip, because we haven't even got 3G or any G in lots of the places around where I am. And we're not rural, we're not middle of nowhere up a mountain. I'm about 15 minutes from a substantial city and probably about 40 minutes from one of the, gotta be top 10, top 15 cities in the country. So, I'm not out in the sticks. There is no excuse. It's just, I'm off on a political rant now, aren't I? But it's true. It's government. Outside of London, they do not give a shit. And service providers also outside of the big cities don't give a shit. They're making enough money off the cities not to care about feeding out proper service into the more rural areas. Anyway, before I get carried away and start really ranting, hopefully you're all doing well, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and we'll see you later. Well, we've made a dent in the building materials. Ah dear, it's been a long day, but we've made some real good progress today. I really can't complain at all. And it's not raining. But if you look at that sky, you can see, and over here, we have got some more coming. Anyway, we're all locked up, ready to go. I've not been in the polytunnel. Mind you, there's nothing in there. I might, it's a big debate, I don't know. I might lift these potatoes tomorrow. The frost has killed them. And we are due, they said, snow and ice. So I don't know. We'll see how we get on tomorrow. As always, we'll be making it up as we go. Oh, look at that. Shame on me, I've left some tools out. Bugger. I'm going to have to put those away. I cannot leave them there. Anyway, on that note, I'll go put those away and I'll be off home. So we'll see you later. It's another day done at the cabin. It is fortunate. It's funny how things work sometimes. I've picked those tools up that I'd left outside and brought them back, and it's just reminded me I'd left my CCTV, or one of them, charging, and you just know, don't you, the one day that I forget to put it back is the day that something happens. So while I was cursing a bit having to unlock the cabin again, things happen for a reason, don't they? So I'll get that popped back up, and then I will definitely be going.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How's the garden room looking with the paving slabs? It's slowly starting to come together. And don't forget to remind me in the comments section if you would like me to do a live stream or a cabin chat on the subject of predictions for 2021. I'll forget if you don't, so leave me a comment in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.